Coverage you can count on. You're watching Way 31 Morning News.
First at 6:30, you're taking a live look at the Way 31 storm tracker radar, where severe weather is making its way to the Tennessee Valley later today. Right now, the radar isn't showing any action for our area, but for now, the storms are off to the west.
Good morning and thanks so much for joining us. It is Thursday, April 18th. I'm Alyssa Martin.
And I'm Greg Privet. Way 31 meteorologist Rob Elvington is in the Storm Tracker Weather Center with what you need to know to be weather ready for this evening's storms. Rob.
Thank you. And yeah, we're tracking that severe weather moving in by the late afternoon hours and into the evening. Thankfully, the forecast has been pretty steady over the last 3 to 4 days, even going back to Sunday of this past weekend. We were thinking late afternoon hours and into the early evening for the arrival time. So your plans are still holding together with that time frame. But if you do not have plans yet, what will you be doing as the severe line moves into the Tennessee Valley later this afternoon, this evening? How will you receive weather information if a tornado warning comes down, if a severe thunderstorm warning comes down? How will you get that information, and how will you get that quickly? Sometimes you only have 10 minutes before that tornado is close to your property, so you need to find a way to get that information throughout the day today. And then you'll notice that the line continues to track through the rest of the valley all the way through the evening hours. We're pretty much wrapping up the event for severe weather by midnight tonight, but we'll continue to see lingering showers all through the day tomorrow, along with cool weather. There's a look at Storm Tracker radar. Look at all of this cloud-to-ground lightning activity that's moving right over top of Memphis right now. This animation's over the last 2 hours, so you'll notice it's pretty slow moving. So it's going to take all day for this severe weather to move into the Tennessee Valley, again, by the late afternoon hours and into this evening. Highs in the mid to upper 70s today, so that's plenty of fuel to fuel these thunderstorms as they move in. And we will be tracking some gusty southerly winds, around 10 to 20 to even 30 miles per hour. Still following the morning commute closely. The big concern for the morning commute will be gusty southerly winds. It will remain dry. There's a look at I-565 eastbound, Decatur to Greenbrier Road, about 7 minutes. Greenbrier Road to Huntsville, 13 minutes.
All right, thank you, Rob. That storm Rob just talked about is heading our way. You can see the hail already falling in Sunset, Texas. Thousands of power outages are already reported across Texas. That's the same weather system headed our way. Way 31's Casey Albritton is live at the Madison County Emergency Management Agency. She has a look at the items you should have ready just in case. Casey?
Emergency management agencies recommend and highly suggest that you have a phone on you during a storm. They say that you need to have your volume all the way up and it needs to be fully charged, and you need a way to receive any weather notifications. Other things you'll want to know ahead of time: where your nearest storm shelter is located. Have water and dry food ready isn't a bad idea either. You'll want to have a flashlight in case the power does go out. You'll need extra batteries to power any of those flashlights or radios that you bring. Another important item that you may not think of is closed-toed shoes. Madison County Emergency Management Agency says after a storm, there can be debris and sharp objects on the ground, and you want to make sure you're protected. Now, crews here at the Madison County Emergency Management Agency are not the only ones that will be monitoring this storm. The local emergency planning committee is meeting this morning in Jackson County to go over their plans for tonight's weather. Reporting live in Huntsville, Casey Albritton, Way 31 News.
All right, thanks so much, Casey. It's now 6:34, and this morning we want to make sure that you are prepared for the severe weather moving into North Alabama. Right now, weather radios are sold out almost everywhere in Marshall County because of the recent severe storms. The Emergency Management Agency took to Facebook asking the public for help with finding stores that have weather radios for sale. The good news is a hardware store in Gunnersville just got a brand new shipment. One worker says the radios are definitely in high demand.
Probably 20 to 25 calls for them on just this past weekend. A lot of people are becoming more weather aware, and so in turn we've sold a lot of weather radios.
And if you get a new weather radio, EMA officials say they'll help you program it. To track the storms right along with our team of Way 31 meteorologists, just head on over to waytv.com. There you'll find your full forecast, updated weather maps, and reports on any severe weather or damage in the area. Happening today, the Huntsville Board of Education is expected to vote on charging tuition for pre-kindergarten programs.
The pre-K programs have been free, but the district may have to make some changes. That's because of financial woes. Way 31's Rodnea Ross is live at the Board of Education with a deeper look into the district's money moves. Rodnea?
Greg, Alyssa, a yes vote on the proposal tonight means parents will now have to pay for pre-K education. It also means 2 Huntsville City schools could lose $100,000 in individual Title I funding. At the last Board of Education meeting, the board began discussions on pre-K tuition. Board member Michelle Watkins asked the chief financial officer to give specific numbers on how the proposal would impact Title I funding. The numbers showed the proposal would cause $100,000 to be taken out of McNair and Jemison's Title I funds to be able to support pre-K programs in other schools. The board ended up tabling the vote because Watkins wanted the schools to be notified of the potential loss of money before a vote was cast. Now, the board will vote on that tonight. If they're not able to come up with a decision, it will be put back on the table. Live in Huntsville, Rodnea Ross, Way 31 News.
All right, thank you, Rodnea. Increased patrols in DeKalb County led to a drug bust involving 4 people. The sheriff's office says deputies and drug task force agents arrested the 4 people you see here. The bust happened in a home on County Road 107. Inside, they found marijuana, meth, and drug paraphernalia. They all face drug charges.
It's now 6:36. A bill aiming to reduce penalties for marijuana possession passed a Senate committee vote. That's according to the American Civil Liberties Union. Right now, it's on its way to the state Senate for a vote. It's Senate Bill 98. The bill would cut back on penalties for possessing different amounts of marijuana. One person we talked with feels the bill is somewhat reasonable.
I think any possession penalty is a stretch. It's an important bill for law enforcement. It's really important that they don't have to stress over something so small as marijuana.
The ACLU reports a similar bill was also introduced during last year's session. However, it failed in committee.
I'm Will Robinson-Smith here at the Breaking News Center. Within the past 15 minutes, the Kremlin announced that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will travel to Russia to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin later this month. This comes right on the heels of the news that North Korea wants the man on the left side of the screen, the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, removed from U.S.-North Korea nuclear discussions. North Korea also just recently reportedly test-fired a tactical guided weapon.
Happening today, the redacted version of the special counsel's report on Russian election interference will come out. This morning, Attorney General Bill Barr will speak about special counsel Robert Mueller's report. That happens at 8:30. That's about an hour and a half before Barr is expected to release that redacted version of the report.
Time now 6:38. I-565 will be resurfaced and expanded to 6 lanes. Governor Kay Ivey made the announcement as part of the Rebuild Alabama project. The project will be funded by the gas tax increase just approved earlier this year. Ivey said the state will also be expanding the Interstate 65 area at the Tanner interchange and widening Browns Ferry Road. The upgrades are designed to help traffic flow for the new Mazda Toyota plant set to open in 2021.
Well, Rob, we hope it's not, but severe weather could be a threat later this afternoon and evening.
Yeah, I definitely expect to see at least a few severe thunderstorm warnings later this evening. Thankfully, the highest threat for severe weather today is just south of the Tennessee Valley, closer to southern Alabama, southern Mississippi. But we could very likely see some damaging straight-line winds and even the threat for a quick spin-up tornado. So that's why you need to follow the forecast and, of course, Storm Tracker radar very closely this afternoon and this evening. There's a look over top of Huntsville this morning. We're seeing passing clouds, but there will be enough breaks in the cloud cover to get the sunshine to warm things up. So we're going to see highs in the mid-to-upper 70s today. That fuel will help to fuel the thunderstorms and help to destabilize the atmosphere. We'll also have some gusty southerly winds. The southerly winds bringing that moisture from out of the Gulf of Mexico to also fuel those thunderstorms. So here's a look at the latest severe weather risk. This came down earlier this morning. You'll notice that we're still in this deep red contour that's indicating scattered severe thunderstorms. Again, damaging straight line winds and tornadoes possible. But off to our south, that's where we're expecting widespread severe storms and also the highest threat for tornadoes and damaging hail. The threat of damaging hail is very low for the Tennessee Valley this evening. Your workday weather planner for today way, you'll notice the probabilities for rain and thunderstorms goes up significantly by the late afternoon hours and into this evening. Temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 70s. And then once we get past today and tomorrow, we're still tracking lingering showers for your Saturday morning for the 49th Earth Day Montesano Festival. I'll be out there around about 1 o'clock on Saturday. But once we hit about noon and into the 2 o'clock hour, the chances for showers goes down quite a bit. So we'll see a little bit of sunshine breaking out for the second half of the event, again at Montesano State Park on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Rob. It's 20 till 7. A sudden resignation leads to more questions than answers.
Everything we know this morning surrounding the resignation of a principal with the Muscle Shoals City School District.
Plus, the search for the teen making threats to schools in Denver is over. How the manhunt for the 18-year-old ended.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching Way 31 News.
Good morning. At 6:44, here's a live look at I-565 in the University Drive area. No real traffic problems to tell you about, but if we have any problems, we'll be sure to let you know. A traffic alert in Limestone County this morning. Drivers will need to find ways around railroad crossings that are closed off. The closed crossings are at Upper Elkton Road in Elkmont and Piney Chapel Road. They'll stay closed until tomorrow.
It's now 6:44, and this morning, Way 31 is still waiting for answers from the Muscle Shoals City School District after an elementary school principal was placed on leave and then abruptly resigned. Alan Willingham was the principal at McBride Elementary School. He was put on leave Sunday. In a special called meeting on Wednesday, the school board accepted his resignation. However, they wouldn't tell us or parents why.
An elite British diver is now back on land. A rescuer was able to get to him and get him out of a cave in Jackson County, Tennessee. Officials say the diver was missing for more than a day. He's a part of the team that rescued a Thai boys soccer team from a cave last year. He was rescued by a fellow diver.
New this morning, North Korean officials say they no longer want Secretary of State Mike Pompeo involved with nuclear talks between the United States and Pyongyang. North Korea's state news agency says North Korea wants someone who they say is, quote, more careful and mature. The head of the North Korean Foreign Ministry's North American department blasted Pompeo for making, quote, loose, reckless remarks against North Korea on a daily basis.
New information, Huntsville Animal Services says it has an overcrowding issue. Now it's letting people adopt animals for free. The shelter has no space for pets. That because it has more than 80 animals in the shelter and it's getting more every day. If you want a pet, just go to the Huntsville Animal Services shelter on Triana Boulevard.
In the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, meteorologist Rob Elvington.
Well, this morning you can see a beautiful sunrise for your Thursday morning. However, don't let your guard down because we're tracking some more rain that's making its way into the forecast. Meteorologist Rob Elvington specifically tracking the newest threat for severe weather that'll impact us later this afternoon, but you want to be prepared now.
Yeah, you know, we see that a lot with severe weather outbreaks. You know, the sun comes out, oh, it's a beautiful day. No need to worry, but the little bit of sunshine that we see that helps to warm things up, and that fuel goes to destabilize the atmosphere. So again, sometimes a little too much sunshine is a bad thing when it comes to these severe thunderstorms. That'll be moving in late this afternoon and into this evening and working through the rest of tonight. Now, this week that we're in right now, the week up April the 15th, this is by far the most active week if you go back over the last 30 years. You'll notice this contour right over top of the Tennessee Valley, northern Alabama. That is the highest probabilities of seeing tornadoes, again, in the last 30 years. This contour actually starts to drop off a little bit once we get past this week. So that's why right around early to mid-April and even late April, we treat every severe weather system especially very seriously because, again, this is just the time of the year that we typically see tornadoes developing in the Tennessee Valley. Of course, we can see tornadoes any time of the year, but this is the week that the probabilities are the highest. Here's a look at the severe weather risk for today. Damaging wind is the highest concern with any severe thunderstorms, but a few brief tornadoes will be possible as that line works east through the valley. You'll notice that we have heavy rain on here by itself. That is not severe, but we are concerned about some localized flooding. And that's what we're seeing right now, closer to Arkansas and into Tennessee and off to the west, closer to Texas, some flash flooding from the same storm system. Temperatures outside right right now anywhere from the low to mid 60s. So those south winds that have been picking up in the overnight hours, helping to keep us mild. And that's right around our lows for this morning. So about 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Look at storm tracker radar, just some passing clouds, but dry. So we're not tracking rain for your morning commute, but you will notice those gusty south and southeasterly winds through the rest of this morning and into this afternoon. So here's a look at the wide view of storm tracker radar. Look at all of this cloud to ground lightning activity. These red polygons that you see on storm tracker radar right now, these are for flash flooding right now. So we are concerned about the flood threat later today. And then you'll notice this yellow polygon off to our southwest. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're already starting to see severe weather with this system. Look at wind gusts through the rest of this morning and into this afternoon. You'll notice gusts around 30 miles per hour. And this is outside of any thunderstorms. So we could see some gusts through the rest of today around 30 miles per hour. But if any severe thunderstorms develop, we could see gusts of 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour. Look at future rain and clouds through this morning and into the afternoon hours. Could see a few showers and thunderstorms ahead of the main severe line, but that's the main severe line around about 7 o'clock this evening, working through the shoals right on top of I-5, 65 corridor, and of course moving through the Huntsville metro area. That's around about 8, 9 o'clock this evening. On top of Sand Mountain, but weakening some around about 9 o'clock this evening, and then the threat's pretty much coming to an end by 11 o'clock this evening, right around midnight, but lingering showers will be possible through the rest of the day on Friday. Your 7-day forecast. After today's severe weather, look at tomorrow. 55 degrees for a high with lingering showers. That will be a chilly day for this time of the year. Still some lingering showers into Saturday, and then we're back up to near 80 by Monday and into Tuesday. Still not seeing any Way 31 traffic alerts, but we'll continue to follow it through the morning commute. And there's a look at some drive times. Madison to downtown Huntsville, about 13 minutes. Madison to Gate 9, about 9 minutes. And, of course, I'll be out at Montesano State Park on this coming Saturday. It's for the 49th Annual Earth Day event. And it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning all the way through about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There will be food and plenty of activities that take place. Again, that starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning through 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's $10 per vehicle for the entry into the event. I'll be out there around about 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Look for the guy in the bright red Way 31 polo. It will be easy to pick out. And come talk to me. Say hey. We can chat about weather.
There won't be a washout either. That's the important thing.
Just a few showers in the morning. By about lunchtime, that threat pretty much drops off to near zero.
All right. Thanks so much, Rob. 6:50 on your Thursday morning.
Up next, we'll have the Way 31 Fastcast with all your news headlines as you head out the door. It's 6:54. Here's a look at the stories we're following as you head out the door.
This morning, we begin with Way 31's Casey Albritton.
Way 31 meteorologists and emergency management agencies are keeping an eye out for a storm that could bring severe weather tonight. Make sure you have some items with you throughout the storm, like bottled water, food, flashlights, batteries, and most importantly, your cell phone, so then you can receive any weather notifications. Your safety is our #1 priority, so make sure you download our Way 31 weather app so you can get any updates. Greg?
This morning, folks at a hardware store in Guntersville say they just got a new shipment of weather radios in. This comes after they were completely sold out in Marshall County just a day ago. Tornadoes hit there less than a week ago.
Federal aid is approved for several counties in the Tennessee Valley after storms moved through earlier this year. Colbert, DeKalb, Franklin, Jackson, Madison, and Morgan counties all qualify. It's for those businesses that were damaged from floods and tornadoes from February into March. That federal aid, however, can only go towards government-owned property.
The Huntsville City Schools Board of Education is expected to vote on a pre-kindergarten tuition proposal today. If the board votes yes on the proposal tonight, it means parents will now have to pay for pre-K education. It could also mean McNair and Jemison could lose $100,000 from their individual Title I funding. Pre-K has been free for the last 7 years, but because of budget constraints, the district has to make some changes to programs. Will?
The Kremlin announced that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will head to Russia this month to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The announcement comes on the heels of North Korea calling for U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to be removed from nuclear talks with the United States.
The redacted version of the special counsel's report on Russian election interference comes out today. Attorney General Bill Barr will speak about Robert Mueller's report around 8:30 this morning.
And no major issues on the Way 31 real-time traffic alert. We'll still follow it very closely through the morning commute. And there you go. There's the severe weather just off to our west. Look at all that cloud ground lightning, the heavy rain. You can see all of those flash flood warnings that have been issued with this line off to the west with those red polygons. Your 7-day forecast, severe weather arrives later this evening, right around the early evening hours. And then you'll notice temperatures down to 55 for a high tomorrow. So much cooler behind today's cold front.
All right. Make sure we stay weather aware. Download that Way 31 Storm Tracker weather app on your phone. And of course, Rob will keep you updated throughout the morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here at 7:23.